Hey everyone, ready to really nail that supply chain manager interview?
We're going to break down what the role really entails, dive deep into common interview questions.
We'll even show you how RoleCatcher's AI can give you a personalized edge so you can impress.
Absolutely.
We're using two key guides from RoleCatcher.
Okay.
The supply chain manager, the complete career guide,
All right.
which gives us the big picture,
Yes.
and the supply chain manager, the complete career interview guide for tackling those tough questions.
Makes sense.
Ready to jump in?
Yeah, let's empower you to ace this.
Perfect. Now, before we get to the hot seat, let's set the stage.
Okay.
The career guide kind of paints a picture of the supply chain manager as the conductor of an orchestra.
Precisely. It's about orchestrating the smooth movement of goods, from sourcing raw materials to delivering that finished product.
And this orchestra played out in various settings, from bustling offices to the heart of manufacturing plants, as the guide highlights.
You're the hub of the wheel, coordinating with suppliers, production teams, logistics, and more.
So you're really in the thick of it.
It's dynamic, demanding, and frankly, a career in high demand.
Which means standing out is key. Speaking of standing out, let's dive into the interview questions from both guides. They're identical, so clearly, these are the big hitters interviewers love.
Let's tackle them strategically.
Right.
Starting with question 1.
Okay.
Can you describe your experience in managing end-to-end supply chain processes?
Sounds simple enough.
It sounds simple, but it's your chance to really showcase your mastery.
So don't just list tasks, tell a story.
And be ready for follow-ups. Can you give a specific example of a challenge you faced within the supply chain?
Oh, so they want to see problem solving in action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Highlight a situation from your experience, the actions you took, and the positive outcome you achieved.
And quantify those achievements.
Wherever possible.
Like, did you reduce lead times, improve delivery accuracy?
The career guide emphasizes the growing importance of metrics in supply chain management, so use them to your advantage.
Okay, on to question 2.
All right.
How do you ensure that the supply chain operates efficiently while minimizing costs? The eternal balancing act, right?
Indeed. Here's where you weave in those key concepts,
That's
like
right.
lean manufacturing and just-in-time inventory.
But not just name dropping.
No. Explain how you've applied them in your previous roles.
Drawing specific examples from your career journey.
Yes.
Be ready for the follow-up.
Of course.
Can you give an example of a cost-saving initiative you implemented?
Think tangible results, backed by numbers.
Did you optimize inventory levels? Negotiate better contracts with suppliers?
Show them you understand the bottom line impact of your actions. This is where RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer.
Oh, tell me more.
It analyzes job descriptions to help you tailor your answers to highlight the most relevant skills and achievements.
Love that. Okay, question 3. How do you manage supplier relationships and ensure they meet quality and delivery expectations? Sounds like a delicate dance.
It is. This question goes beyond logistics. It's about your interpersonal skills, your ability to build trust and maintain those crucial relationships.
So interviewers might dig deeper
That'd be
with,
something like,
can you share an instance where a supplier wasn't meeting expectations? How did you address it?
they're looking for diplomacy, communication, and your ability to navigate tricky situations.
Okay, so highlight your negotiation tactics and conflict resolution skills.
Yes, and emphasize the positive outcome you achieved through collaboration and clear communication.
Okay, on to question 4. How do you manage inventory levels to ensure optimal stock levels without creating excess inventory?
This is where your knowledge of inventory management techniques shines.
Okay.
Showcase your understanding of demand forecasting, setting reorder points, and minimizing waste.
And don't forget to mention your experience with different inventory management systems. The career guide highlights the increasing use of technology in this area, so showcase your tech savviness.
Exactly.
Whether it's a traditional ERP system or a more modern cloud-based solution, be prepared to discuss your familiarity with various platforms.
Now let's brace ourselves for question 5.
Oh no.
Can you give an example of a time when you had to manage a crisis in the supply chain?
Every supply chain manager's nightmare.
It can be. But it's also your chance to showcase resilience and problem solving under pressure.
Okay.
Think of a major disruption you faced. Maybe a natural disaster, a supplier going bankrupt, or a sudden surge in demand.
Explain how you assessed the situation, developed a contingency plan, communicated effectively with stakeholders, and ultimately resolved the crisis. This is a great opportunity to show your leadership skills in action. And don't forget to mention the lessons learned. Even a negative situation can demonstrate your ability to adapt and grow, which is a key trait the career guide emphasizes for successful supply chain managers.
Remember, the key is to paint a vivid picture of your experience and demonstrate your ability to handle pressure with grace and decisiveness.
Now, question 6 brings us to the world of regulations. How do you ensure compliance with regulatory requirements in the supply chain?
This is non-negotiable. Your answer should demonstrate a thorough understanding of relevant regulations and your commitment to upholding them.
Whether it's import-export regulations, safety standards, or environmental guidelines.
Right.
Be prepared for a follow-up.
Something like.
Can you describe a specific regulation that impacted your work and how you ensured compliance? We want to see that you're not just aware, but proactive.
Precisely. Highlight specific procedures you've implemented, like audits, training programs, or documentation systems to ensure compliance throughout the supply chain. Demonstrating a proactive approach to risk management is a huge plus.
This segues nicely into question 7. How do you manage risk in the supply chain?
It's about being one step ahead.
Like identifying potential disruptions and having strategies to mitigate them?
Absolutely.
Think diversifying your supplier base, building in buffer inventory, or developing those all-important contingency plans.
Right.
And be ready to share an example of a risk you identified and the steps you took to mitigate it.
This question lets you showcase your strategic thinking and proactive approach to risk management.
All right, 2 more questions to go in this rapid-fire round.
Yeah.
Question 8 is a big one in today's world. How do you ensure that the supply chain is sustainable and environmentally responsible?
This goes beyond just compliance.
Yeah.
Companies are increasingly focused on sustainability, and they'll be looking for supply chain managers who share that commitment.
So how do you nail this answer?
Start by showcasing your understanding of what sustainability means in a supply chain context. Then, share concrete initiatives you've implemented, like eco-friendly packaging, optimizing transportation routes to reduce fuel consumption, partnering with sustainable suppliers. The Career Guide highlights the growing importance of these practices, so be prepared to discuss them in detail.
And be ready to share a specific example, like how you reduced waste or implemented a recycling program. And finally, question 9. Can you describe your experience in implementing technology solutions in the supply chain?
The interviewer wants to see if you embrace technology to enhance efficiency, visibility, and data-driven decision-making.
So talk about those ERP systems, warehouse management systems, and those fancy data analytics platforms.
Be specific about the technologies you've used, the challenges you overcame during implementation, and the positive impacts you achieved.
Like, did you improve inventory accuracy, reduce lead times, quantify your results whenever possible?
And be prepared to discuss emerging technologies like blockchain, AI, and the Internet of Things.
Oh, right. The Career Guide points to these as future game changers, so showing you're ahead of the curve is a major plus.
Exactly. Demonstrate your eagerness to learn and adapt to the ever-evolving technological landscape of supply chain management.
All right, we've tackled the first nutting questions.
Phew.
Time to take a breath and see how RoleCatcher can help us fine-tune those answers for maximum impact.
Let's explore how its AI-powered features can give you that winning edge. Remember those 2 big questions we mentioned earlier?
You mean the ones that can make or break an interview?
Exactly. Salary expectations.
Oh, yeah.
And do you have any questions for us? Let's dive into those, especially how RoleCatcher can help us navigate them.
Okay.
First up, what are your salary expectations?
Right.
This one can feel like a minefield, but with RoleCatcher, you can approach it strategically.
So it's not just about throwing out a number.
Right.
It's about research and understanding the market.
Precisely. RoleCatcher's AI analyzes thousands of data points, including job postings, industry benchmarks, and location-based salary trends, to provide you with a realistic and competitive salary range for the specific role you're targeting.
So you're armed with data-backed insights.
Not just guesswork.
And this helps you justify your expectations to the interviewer.
Exactly. You can confidently say, based on my research and my experience, and mention relevant skills and achievements, I believe a salary range of mention-specific range is fair and competitive for this role.
That level of preparation shows you're serious, knowledgeable, and confident in your worth. Now, what about the dreaded, do you have any questions for us? How can RoleCatcher help us turn this into an opportunity?
This is where RoleCatcher's AI truly shines. Remember, this question isn't just about them evaluating you, it's about you evaluating them.
So it's a chance to demonstrate your genuine interest, your strategic thinking, and your desire to contribute.
Precisely. RoleCatcher's AI analyzes the company, the industry, and even the interviewer's background to suggest insightful questions tailored to the specific context.
So you're not just asking generic questions. You're asking questions that show you've done your homework.
Exactly. You could inquire about the company's long-term growth strategy, the supply chain team's role in achieving those goals, or specific challenges the company is facing.
Or even ask about the company culture, leadership styles, or opportunities for professional development.
By asking insightful and tailored questions, you demonstrate your curiosity, your strategic mindset, and your commitment to the company's success.
This flips the script, positioning you as a valuable asset, not just a candidate.
Right.
Now, let's step back from the interview itself and revisit the supply chain manager, the complete career guide. It has some great insights into career progression.
It's essential to understand the typical career path and the skills you'll need to advance. The guide breaks down the journey from junior analyst to senior manager, even highlighting those who thrive in each stage.
It's like a roadmap for your career.
Showing you where you are and where you can go.
And it emphasizes the importance of continuous learning.
Whether it's pursuing certifications like the CSCP or CPSM, attending industry conferences, or simply staying abreast of the latest trends.
So you're not just prepping for this interview, you're investing in your long-term career growth.
Precisely. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to touch on one more critical aspect of interview preparation.
Okay, what's that?
It's something that goes beyond just knowledge and skills. It's about mindset and presentation.
It's not just what you say, but how you say it factor. So how do we project that confidence and professionalism?
Firstly, acknowledge that interviews can be nerve-wracking. Even seasoned professionals get butterflies.
Yeah.
But remember, the interviewers want you to succeed.
Of course, they've invested time in selecting you for an interview. So relax, breathe, and approach it as a conversation, not an interrogation.
Exactly. And preparation is key. The more prepared you are, the more confident you'll feel. Review those interview questions, practice your answers using RoleCatcher's AI feedback, and research the company thoroughly.
It's like an athlete preparing for a big game. The more you practice, the better you'll perform.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of visualization. Imagine yourself walking into that interview room, feeling calm, collected, and ready to impress.
Visualization can trick your mind into feeling more confident, which can actually boost your performance.
Absolutely. And lastly, believe in yourself. You have the skills, the experience, and the passion to excel in this role.
Own your accomplishments, let your enthusiasm shine through, and remember, you've got this.
Now let's shift gears and delve into the art of storytelling. It's a powerful tool to make your answers memorable and showcase your personality.
It's about going beyond simply reciting facts and figures.
And weaving those details into a captivating narrative.
Okay.
Exactly. Think of your answers as mini stories. Use vivid language, highlight the challenges, the solutions, and the outcomes, and don't be afraid to inject some emotion.
It's about making the interviewers feel something, not just understand something.
Now, let's discuss some specific storytelling techniques that can elevate your interview game.
Give me the insider tips.
One technique is the STAR method, which stands for situation, task, action, and result.
The classic STAR method. It's a great framework for structuring your answers in a clear, concise, and impactful way.
Exactly. Start by describing the situation you were in, the task you were assigned, the actions you took, and the results you achieved.
This ensures you're providing specific examples and showcasing your accomplishments in a way that's easy for the interviewer to follow.
Precisely. Another effective technique is using analogies or metaphors to make complex concepts more relatable and memorable.
Like comparing managing a supply chain to conducting an orchestra, as we talked about earlier.
Exactly. Or you could compare optimizing inventory levels to walking a tightrope, or navigating a complex regulatory landscape to sailing through a storm.
Those analogies paint vivid pictures and make the concept stick in the interviewer's mind.
Right. And they also demonstrate your creativity and communication skills.
Okay, so we've covered mindset and storytelling. What about nonverbal communication? How do we project confidence and professionalism through our appearance and body language?
Nonverbal cues are just as important as what you say.
All right.
So let's start with attire. While it depends on the company culture, it's always best to err on the side of formality.
So a suit or a business professional outfit is a safe bet.
Absolutely. And make sure your clothes are clean, pressed, and fit well. You want to look and feel your best, projecting an image of competence and professionalism.
And what about accessories?
Keep them simple and professional. Avoid anything too flashy or distracting.
Right.
You want the focus to be on you and your qualifications, not your bling.
Good point. Now let's talk about body language. What are some tips for projecting confidence and engagement during the interview?
Make eye contact, smile genuinely, and sit up straight with your shoulders relaxed.
And avoid crossing your arms, which can signal defensiveness or disinterest.
Right. Use hand gestures to emphasize key points, but don't overdo it. And remember to mirror the interviewer's body language to build rapport and create a sense of connection.
Mirroring is a subtle but powerful way to establish a sense of trust and understanding. Okay, what about facial expressions? What should we be aiming for?
Your facial expressions should convey enthusiasm, interest, and attentiveness. Smile when appropriate, nod to show you're listening, and maintain a positive and engaged expression throughout the interview.
And avoid frowning or looking bored, even if you're feeling nervous or the questions get tough.
Exactly. A genuine smile can go a long way in creating a positive impression and building rapport with the interviewer.
Now, let's not forget about the handshake. It's often the first physical contact you have with the interviewer.
A firm handshake is crucial. It conveys confidence and professionalism. Practice beforehand to make sure it's not too weak or too strong.
So it's about finding that Goldilocks handshake. Just right. Now, beyond the specific elements of nonverbal communication, what about the overall energy we bring to the interview?
Projecting confidence, enthusiasm, and positive energy can make a huge difference in how you're perceived.
So how do we cultivate that winning energy?
Start by prioritizing your well-being. Get a good night's sleep the night before the interview.
Solid advice. There's nothing worse than showing up feeling exhausted and drained.
Right. And eat a healthy breakfast to fuel your body and mind.
Okay.
And most importantly, take some time to relax and center yourself before the interview.
So meditation, deep breathing exercises, or listening to calming music can help reduce anxiety and boost your mood. Visualize yourself succeeding and remind yourself of your strengths and accomplishments.
It's all about getting into that positive and confident headspace.
Absolutely. And remember, the interviewers are human too. They understand that you might be feeling nervous.
Yes.
So it's okay to acknowledge your nerves.
Of course.
You can say something like, I'm a little nervous, but I'm really excited about this opportunity.
That shows self-awareness and authenticity, which are valuable traits.
And it can also help break the ice and create a more relaxed and conversational atmosphere.
Now let's shift our focus to a crucial aspect that often gets overlooked: pre-interview preparation.
Okay, what are some key things we should do to set ourselves up for success?
First, research the company thoroughly. Go beyond just browsing their website.
So dig into their annual reports, press releases, and social media presence. Understand their mission, values, and recent initiatives.
Exactly. The more you know about the company, the better you'll be able to tailor your answers and demonstrate your genuine interest.
It shows you've taken the time to learn about them, which is always impressive.
Next, review the job description carefully. Highlight the key skills and experience they're seeking, and think about specific examples from your career that align with those requirements.
This will help you tailor your answers to showcase your most relevant qualifications.
Absolutely. And don't forget to prepare questions to ask the interviewer.
We've already discussed the importance of asking insightful questions, but it's worth reiterating.
Having a few well-thought-out questions demonstrates your curiosity and engagement, and it can also help you gather valuable information about the role and the company.
It's a win-win. Now, what about practicing your answers? Any tips for that?
Of course. Practice makes perfect, especially when it comes to interviews.
So grab a friend, a family member, or even a mirror and rehearse your answers out loud.
The more you practice, the more comfortable and confident you'll feel during the actual interview. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can provide personalized feedback on your answers, helping you refine your delivery and content.
It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
Exactly. Now let's talk about logistics. Plan your route to the interview location in advance and factor in extra time for traffic or unexpected delays.
Arriving late is a surefire way to start the interview on the wrong foot.
Right. And choose an outfit that's both professional and comfortable.
We've already talked about attire, but it's worth emphasizing the importance of feeling comfortable and confident in what you're wearing.
Exactly. And finally, take a moment to relax and center yourself before the interview.
We mentioned this earlier, but it bears repeating. Taking a few deep breaths, listening to calming music, or simply visualizing yourself succeeding can do wonders for your nerves.
Now let's talk about a topic that can sometimes be a bit tricky: salary negotiations.
Ah, the art of knowing your worth and advocating for yourself.
Exactly. Remember, salary negotiation is a conversation, not a confrontation.
So it's about finding a mutually agreeable solution that values your skills and experience while meeting the company's needs.
Absolutely. Before the interview, research the typical salary range for the role in your location.
Websites like Glassdoor, Indeed, and Salary.com can provide valuable insights.
Right.
And consider your own experience, skills, and qualifications when determining your desired salary range.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to ask for what you deserve, but also be realistic and open to negotiation.
Of course.
If the interviewer brings up salary expectations, be prepared to discuss your range confidently and professionally.
You can say something like, based on my research and my qualifications, I'm seeking a salary in the range of mentioned specific range.
Okay.
And be prepared to justify your expectations by highlighting your relevant skills, experience, and accomplishments.
Remember, it's a negotiation.
So be flexible and willing to compromise.
Now, let's discuss some common mistakes to avoid during the interview process.
Okay.
Give us the don'ts of interview etiquette.
First and foremost, avoid bad-mouthing previous employers or colleagues.
That's a major red flag for interviewers. It shows a lack of professionalism and maturity.
Exactly. Instead, focus on the positive aspects of your previous experiences and what you learned from them.
Next, avoid arriving late or unprepared.
We've touched on this before, but it's crucial. Punctuality and preparation demonstrate respect for the interviewer's time and a genuine interest in the opportunity.
And don't forget to turn off your phone or put it on silent mode.
Nothing disrupts an interview more than a ringing phone. It shows a lack of focus and attention.
Okay, what about our online presence? Should we be mindful of that?
Absolutely. In today's digital age, interviewers often check candidates' social media profiles.
So it's essential to ensure your online presence is professional and consistent with the image you want to project.
Clean up any questionable content and consider making your profiles private if necessary.
And speaking of online presence, what about virtual interviews? They're becoming increasingly common. Any tips for acing those?
Virtual interviews require just as much preparation as in-person interviews, but with a few additional considerations.
Like ensuring you have a stable internet connection and a quiet, clutter-free background.
Exactly. And just like in an in-person interview, dress professionally from head to toe.
Don't fall into the trap of thinking you only need to dress up from the waist up.
And make eye contact with the camera, not the screen, to simulate eye contact with the interviewer.
And just like in an in-person interview, be mindful of your body language and facial expressions.
Smile, nod, and use hand gestures to convey engagement and enthusiasm.
And most importantly, relax and be yourself.
Authenticity shines through whether you're interviewing in person or virtually.
Now let's talk about a crucial aspect of the interview process. Following up after the interview.
Following up is a great way to reiterate your interest in the role and thank the interviewer for their time.
So what's the best way to follow up without being too pushy or annoying?
Send a thank you email within 24 hours of the interview.
Keep it brief, professional, and reiterate your enthusiasm for the opportunity.
You can also use the thank you email to address any points you may have missed during the interview or to clarify any misunderstandings.
And if you haven't heard back from the interviewer within a reasonable time frame, it's acceptable to follow up with a polite email or phone call.
However, avoid bombarding the interviewer with multiple follow-ups.
Persistence is good, but pestering is not.
Exactly. Remember, the hiring process takes time and the interviewer may be juggling multiple candidates.
So be patient, professional, and respectful throughout the process.
Now, before we conclude this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm ready for that nugget of wisdom.
Remember, the interview process is not just about finding the right job, it's also about finding the right fit.
So it's a two-way street.
Exactly.
We're evaluating them just as much as they're evaluating us.
Use the interview as an opportunity to assess the company culture, the team dynamics, and the overall work environment.
Ask yourself,
can I see myself thriving in this environment? Do I align with the company's values? Do I feel excited about the challenges and opportunities this role presents?
okay.
If the answer is yes, then go for it with confidence and enthusiasm.
And if the answer is no, don't be afraid to walk away. The right opportunity is out there waiting for you.
Now let's shift our focus to the exciting world of technology and its impact on the supply chain industry.
This is where things get really interesting.
Yes.
The Career Guide highlights several key trends shaping the future of supply chain management.
Absolutely. One of the most significant trends is the rise of automation and robotics.
We're seeing robots being deployed in warehouses, factories, and even transportation networks.
This automation is transforming traditional supply chain roles, creating new opportunities and challenges for professionals in the field.
So how can aspiring supply chain managers prepare for this automated future?
Firstly, it's crucial to embrace a mindset of continuous learning.
The skills that are in demand today might be obsolete tomorrow, so it's essential to stay ahead of the curve by developing new skills and knowledge.
Exactly. Focus on developing your analytical skills, your problem-solving abilities, and your understanding of emerging technologies.
The career guide emphasizes the importance of data analytics and the ability to interpret and leverage data to make informed decisions.
Absolutely. As supply chains become more complex and interconnected, the ability to analyze vast amounts of data and extract actionable insights will be paramount.
And what about those emerging technologies like blockchain, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things? How are they impacting the supply chain landscape?
These technologies are already making their mark on the industry, and their influence is only going to grow in the coming years.
Blockchain, for example, is being used to enhance transparency and traceability in supply chains.
It allows for secure and tamper-proof record keeping, reducing the risk of fraud and counterfeiting.
Artificial intelligence is being used to optimize logistics, forecast demand, and personalize customer experiences.
And the Internet of Things is connecting devices and sensors throughout the supply chain, providing real-time visibility and data insights.
So it's a truly exciting time to be in the supply chain field.
Absolutely. But to thrive in this rapidly evolving landscape, professionals need to be adaptable, tech-savvy, and committed to continuous learning.
The Career Guide offers some valuable advice for navigating these technological advancements.
It suggests seeking out opportunities to gain hands-on experience with emerging technologies, attending industry conferences and workshops, and connecting with other professionals in the field.
So it's about being proactive and seeking out opportunities to learn and grow.
Exactly. And remember, the most successful supply chain managers are those who are not afraid to embrace change and innovation.
Now, let's talk about a topic that's close to my heart, the importance of sustainability in supply chain management.
This is a critical issue that's gaining increasing attention from both businesses and consumers.
The Career Guide dedicates an entire section to the topic, highlighting the growing demand for supply chain managers with a strong understanding of sustainable practices.
Absolutely. Sustainability is no longer just a nice-to-have, it's a business imperative.
Consumers are increasingly demanding products that are ethically sourced and produced, and companies are realizing that sustainable practices can actually enhance their bottom line.
All right.
So how can aspiring supply chain managers demonstrate their commitment to sustainability during an interview?
Firstly, it's essential to have a solid understanding of what sustainability means in the context of supply chain management. The Career Guide provides a comprehensive definition, emphasizing the importance of environmental, social, and economic responsibility throughout the supply chain.
So it's not just about reducing carbon emissions.
It's also about fair labor practices, ethical sourcing, and community engagement.
Exactly. During the interview, be prepared to discuss specific initiatives you've implemented to promote sustainability in your previous roles.
Share examples of how you've reduced waste, minimized energy consumption, or implemented recycling programs.
Okay.
And highlight any experience you have working with suppliers who adhere to sustainable practices.
Demonstrating a genuine passion for sustainability and a track record of implementing sustainable initiatives can set you apart from other candidates.
Now let's shift our focus to the importance of networking and building relationships in the supply chain industry.
This is often an overlooked aspect of career development, but it can be incredibly valuable.
The Career Guide emphasizes the importance of networking as a way to learn from others, stay abreast of industry trends, and even uncover hidden job opportunities.
So how can aspiring supply chain managers build a strong professional network?
Firstly, attend industry events and conferences.
These events provide a fantastic opportunity to meet other professionals, learn from experts, and expand your knowledge base.
Connect with people on LinkedIn and other professional networking platforms.
Join relevant industry groups and participate in online discussions.
And don't underestimate the power of informational interviews.
Reaching out to people in your desired field for informational interviews can provide valuable insights and help you build relationships with potential mentors or even future employers.
Remember, networking is not just about collecting business cards. It's about building genuine relationships based on shared interests and mutual respect.
And those relationships can be invaluable throughout your career.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of supply chain manager interviews, I want to emphasize one final point.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Remember, the interview process is an opportunity not just to showcase your skills and experience, but also to learn and grow.
It's a chance to gain valuable insights into the industry, the company, and even yourself.
Embrace the challenges, ask thoughtful questions, and approach each interview as a learning experience.
And remember, RoleCatcher is here to support you every step of the way. We've talked about the role, tackled those tough questions, even prepped for the unexpected.
Yeah.
But before we send you off to conquer that interview,
Okay.
let's shine the spotlight on RoleCatcher one last time.
It's more than just interview prep.
Oh, what?
It's your career ally from the very start of your job search.
Okay.
Imagine this. You're on RoleCatcher, and that perfect supply chain manager role pops up.
I see.
You're excited, but also, it's a competitive field.
So how does RoleCatcher help you stand out?
Yeah.
Not with generic applications, right?
Exactly. First, its AI-powered CV resume builder steps in.
All right.
It doesn't just format.
Yeah.
It analyzes the job description.
So it sees what they want.
Yes, those keywords and skills a company is really looking for, and suggests how to tailor your resume to match.
So you're not just throwing your resume into the void,
Right.
You're giving it a laser focus,
Precisely.
making sure it lands right in front of the hiring manager with everything they want to see.
And that AI magic doesn't stop there.
Oh, wow.
It helps you craft a killer cover letter, too.
Right.
Not just a generic template, but one that complements your resume, highlighting your personality and passion,
So you're really standing out.
making you memorable from the get-go.
It's like having a professional resume writer and career coach all rolled into one. But let's say you've landed the interview. That's where those prep tools we talked about come into play.
Remember those 120,000 plus practice questions?
Oh, yeah.
Not just general ones, but ones tailored to specific industries,
Oh, wow.
even specific companies.
So you're ready for anything.
But it's the personalized feedback that really blows my mind.
Really?
You're not just guessing if you're doing well.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI is analyzing your answers, telling you what to improve.
So like it's giving me tips.
Clarity, conciseness, specific examples, even your delivery.
Wow.
Tone, pacing, everything.
It's like having a mock interview with an expert who can pinpoint exactly what you need to work on,
Right.
all from the comfort of your own home.
At your own pace.
And don't forget that video practice with AI analysis.
Right.
See yourself the way the interviewer will and really polish your presentation.
It all comes down to confidence.
Yeah.
When you know you're prepared, you walk into that interview feeling ready to impress.
You're not just a supply chain manager.
Yeah.
You're the supply chain manager they've been searching for.
No.
All right, we've explored the role, conquered those questions, and seen how RoleCatcher can be your secret weapon throughout the entire journey.
You're equipped with the knowledge, strategies, and tools to thrive in this dynamic and rewarding field.
So go out there.
Yes.
Make your mark on the world of supply chain management.
Absolutely.
Remember, this deep dive is just the beginning.
Keep learning, keep growing, and never stop pursuing your passion.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, best of luck in your supply chain endeavors.